Chris here, back in the workshop in Nova Scotia. Today we're going to be talking about valse clogs, a very specific and particular type of tune and dance form, danced beautifully there by Pierre Chartrand at our most recent Boxwood in Lunenburg, which took place July 2025. Now, the Valse Clog, this particular one we're looking at, is called the Valse Clog Guilmette, and it was either composed by or in the repertoire of Joseph Guilmette. He was born in the 1880s and passed away in the 1950s, I believe, and recorded that particular tune on a 78 recording. That was heard by Jean Carignan, who became one of Canada's most famous French-Canadian fiddle players of all time. And Jean Carignan was particularly in love with the valse clogs and championed them. So let's just say a word or two about this particular tune and dance. It's a great artifact that kind of embodies the back and forth between French culture and English culture. The clog itself is a very English type of clogging dance, typically danced by one single dancer as a solo type of piece to show off a bit. And of course the valse is taking that particular type of clogging and applying it to a French-Canadian type of waltz. We're going to have a look at this tune a little more closely. It's a beautiful tune in the key of B minor, at least on the first part. Let me play it just a little bit slower for you. It goes like this. Say that there are a lot of rules attached to this type of dance in terms of how you play it, how you interpret it, other than a couple of key things. If you have a look at the video there with Pierre dancing it, I think the tempo is fairly specific, probably a relatively narrow range tempo-wise that's going to make this work for a step dancer. So I think generally when you play these, you want to keep those a little bit on the brisk side, but not too fast either. Just imagine yourself having to dance this yourself, assuming that you're an expert. The next thing I think would be to remember that perhaps you are playing this for a dancer and your job is not only to be a melody player but also thinking super rhythmically so that you're supporting all the rhythm that's going on with subdivisions in the steps. And you'll notice that, speaking of subdivisions, that the way that this melody is written, it's actually quite lyrical, but in a lot of times, particularly in the B part, it is subdivided just the way a step dancer would do. Just check in with that B part. A lot of the quarter notes are subdivided, and I think it's important that you try to carry forward with that as much as you can and have fun with it and be playful just the way that the dancer is going to be doing as well. I also want to take a look at another tune we did in this Acadian workshop. This one is from the repertoire of, or was composed by, Fériole LeBlanc. It was exactly contemporary with Joseph Guilmette, and he came from Memramcook, New Brunswick. Memramcook is and was the real heart and soul, the center of gravity of Acadian culture. And this is a great reel. It goes something like this. I'll play it a little slow. Fairly straightforward. I would say not a lot of rules attached to that one. Just make it work for yourself and have fun with it. All right, let me know what you think of these tunes, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.